The next thing we're going to go over is takes. Now, takes are great. Takes are basically the analog of what was in the original recording studio back in the day, back when everybody who was anybody recorded. And still, when you record in a recording studio or by yourself, you record takes, multiple takes. I'm sure you've heard the term, if you've heard anything about recording, is you do multiple takes, is multiple attempts at the same performance over and over and over until you get it right, or get something that's close, and then you can kind of, in the modern age, you can hack it. Back in the day, they had to kind of splice pieces of tape together. It was kind of a nightmare, but some people like Butch Vig and people like that were experts, are all dialed into that kind of really esoteric way of doing things. But damn, they really pulled it out in the 90s. It's kind of an art in itself, but now it's a little bit easier. You know, you don't have to worry about having to cut pieces of tape that are only one performance, and you know, if you ruin the tape, that's it. Not the case anymore. We're dealing in the digital world. We don't have to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this bass guitar that I was using earlier, and I'm going to lay over what we already did, and I'm going to do multiple takes of this bass part. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my range. So say it's just a 4-bar loop, okay? I'm going to use this loop range up here, this little white bar, okay? I'm going to set this up, and automatically Reaper's set up to record takes. So I'm going to just rewind this to the front, and I'm probably just going to mute this other bass track that I did, just to keep things simple. And so I'm only going to be working on this, and I believe the bass part was pretty simple, but I'm going to go ahead and record over top of this, and you're going to see a second line show up when I do that. Here we go. All right, so one thing I forgot to do was I forgot to hit the loop button, this little kind of recycle looking symbol down here. So I'm going to go and hit that, and we're going to do that same thing again. But watch what happens when I hit stop here. See this second track show up? So these are two different takes. This is take 1, this is take 2. It even says it up here, the text right above by the file name. So this is take 2. This is what I just played. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of organize this a little bit better and cut that off. And now that it's looped, I am just going to let it go, and we're going to hit record. And next time, instead of it doing that again, it's just going to loop back over the beginning of that 4-bar phrase. Okay, watch this. So check this out. Same thing is going to happen. I'm going to hit stop and look at all those takes. All right. So I just played around a little bit with the rhythm. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you can go ahead and go through here and look at this and just listen to the different takes as you play it back now. So I'm going to turn off record, and I'm just going to play it back. Not the best timing. The ending was pretty good, but it's kind of a boring phrase if you do it the same over and over again. Let's try take 2 instead. That one kind of sucks too. So let's go to take 3. This is me playing bass, so it's kind of sucks to begin with. So we're going to just work with what we have, and I'll show you how to do that. Cool. This actually is a pretty solid take. Time is a little off in the middle there, but that's fine. This is take 4. Cool. All right. I like this. I think probably what I'm going to do is just use this last part where I walk down. Maybe just the second beat here. Maybe just these 3. So let's just try this. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to hit the S key. S. I'm gonna put the bass down so I can do this more easily. And I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna play it through, and I'm gonna select the end of this take and then the beginning of this take. And then what I'm doing now, it's called comping. I'm comping these takes together into one master take. So listen to this, and you're gonna hear it's seamless. Okay, this is take 3 right now. See? So you got both, best of both worlds. You have take 3, but the performance is better, and then you have take 4, which has that cool walk down. So I just made a comped bass part. I didn't have to waste all my time re-recording until I got it right. I know there's purists who like to do that. That's cool. If you want to record 800 takes, go for it, man. That's a totally legit way to work. That's really not modern production. That's not the way that modern producers work. Modern producers generally will cut things up. Billie Eilish, who was mentioned before, Phineas and Billie Eilish, who make pop music, obviously, they work really hard on Billie's vocals to get them tuned into a perfect take. They might have 90 different takes in one song. I think one of them that they were explaining to David Letterman or something like that I saw one time. That's crazy. So that's more than I would want to do it. But they're kids. They're having fun. They've got 1 billion Grammys. Who am I to question their process? This is kind of the medium ground. I've got 4 takes here. I'm using take 3 and take 4. And I could just keep going. If I'm like just getting warmed up, say like the first 4 or 5 takes could be garbage. You just throw them out. Who cares? It's digital, right? So you're not wasting tracks on a tape. When you've gotten a good number in that you feel good about, then you can go back and comp it. And say you got one perfect take, but like one little performance thing that you did halfway through the song. We're only doing 4 bars here. I mean, this is just a little snippet of a song. If you've performed like a 6-minute song and you did a huge bass part, and you know there was a little performance thing you did maybe in the bridge or something like that you liked the way that you played that, you should use that part of the take rather than be like, oh well, you know, this part of the take is better and this part of the take. That's what that's for. That's just why this was designed this way. It's going to be the best thing ever. You're never going to want to go back once you try this. As far as vocals are concerned, as far as guitar performances, a lot of times if you're going to be a producer and you're going to record somebody, say, you know, your bandmate is got a lot of trips going on, whatever, they're in and out, they're in 3 different bands, they are just coming and they wanted to lay down these tracks for this one song, lead part, rhythm part, whatever, and you can't get them back. Like they've done 7 takes and you don't know what to do because you're like, oh shit, this would be better if this was like this. You don't have time to bring that player back in and record. Who says they want to spend their time coming back and getting all set up again and doing it again? That's just a waste of everybody's time. So why don't you just use the tools that are available to you, takes, and comp your own performance. Comp the guitarist's performance to what you like. You can get away with a lot if you want to play around with it, and you might come up with a sound that you never even thought of. Maybe that wasn't the way you wrote it, but you recomposed it into something really interesting, and you play it back for the guitarist, and they're like, hey, that's kind of dope. I want to play that live. So now, you know, the song kind of feeds back into itself. It's like a total loop. You edit the performance changes. It's such an interesting conversation that you can have when you're your own producer. So that is how you do takes. That is how you comp takes. And we're going to move on.